My prayer is basically through meditation now. I think the humility of meditation is me praying. That's my prayer. Just saying like, God, I ain't got all the answers. I ain't got to give me the strength. Let me sit back and let me listen to you. Keep me humble. That's my prayer, you know, and that's me sitting back and closing my eyes and sitting back like, let me still my mind, because my mind is it's like a stallion and only can be ridden by a train. And it's hard to still your mind. Every time you think you're still in it, some thought comes in your mind, you know what I mean? So our mind is really our worst enemy, you heard? It's the censure in front of the gate of God. It says, like, you're not getting past me, you heard?
I do pray. I pray before every meal, but usually my prayer is, help me. I mean, that's it. Sometimes my prayer will be thank you, and sometimes my prayer will be, okay, what do you want from me? But usually it's just help me. I have on very, very, very rare occasions felt that I actually heard words, but without words, I do feel I'm being given answers.
My wife and I do devotions every morning at 7 o'clock. It's the best thing. We've been doing it for probably 7 or 8 years. It's probably been one of the best things for our marriage because we center and we know that's the time when we can talk. And prayer has become increasingly important to me. Probably the older I've gotten, it's a way for me to center on what I think is important. I don't see prayer as something that I get answers, but more I get the questions, and it helps me understand, am I asking the right questions? If we really focus on the question, it's much easier to separate and say, what is the answer separate from what's good for me?
I attend as much as I can Pendle Hill worship in the morning, and this morning there was somebody who sang "Everything is Sacred," got his guitar out and sang. And the prayer, it's probably not in a Christian vein. It is holding in the light. I love that as a translation of prayer.
I pray in my own way. I take a walk every morning and I hold an intention and I hold my heart open. And I think that's probably the same thing as prayer.
In addition to being a Quaker, I'm also a vowed consecrated woman. Just in case anyone doesn't know what that is, I've taken the traditional evangelical vows that a sister would take, a nun. And I was accepted into a largely Catholic community as a Quaker. I am, to my knowledge, the only Quaker sister in our community. So prayer is my life. Formalized prayer I do multiple times a day in communion with my sisters or with brothers from other communities. We partake in things like daily office.
In terms of whether, I recite a set text or something, no. But in some ways, I think being a Quaker, one is trying to be always in a sort of prayerful approach to life.
I also think of my life as a prayer. Like how do I step through my days understanding that how I walk is a way to praise God and be in relationship with God and invite transformation that God is trying to bring into being. I wrote a prayer called Prayer for the Coming of the Light, which is about worship and talk about how we are to midwife the spiritual birth. And I think prayer is one way to do that. And I think that how we walk in the world is a way to live those prayers.
Life itself is prayer. Sometimes it's not about just formalized words, but journaling is prayerful. Walking and thinking theological questions is a form of prayer. Eating can be a form of prayer. The more that I grow in my knowledge of what God is to me, the more I realize that my life is prayer. That I am, in general, a prayerful person.
Thank you for watching this episode of QuakerSpeak. If you like this episode, please leave a comment and a thumbs up so we can reach even more friends. For more videos, click this playlist here. To subscribe to QuakerSpeak, click this here. And to support us, click here. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Thursday.